Recording in progress.
Good evening. My name is Wahid Lutfi. I'm going to demonstrate for you how to use Python on a Linux platform. And in particular, I'm going to show you the module for Python, which is called OS module. So I'm going to show you that one. Let me share my screen first. And then as you can see on my screen here on the right side, basically this screen that is open. I type in uname-a and it reveals the operating system that I'm using, and cat etc os release similarly shows you that I'm running Ubuntu version of Linux 20.04 version Ubuntu long-term support. This LTS stands for long-term support. So without further ado, I'm going to clear my screen, do a PWD to show you what directory I am, and I do a ID to show my user ID and group ID and the groups that I belong. And therefore, I can just reveal the same information inside the OS module of Python. First, let's just look at Python version. Python 3-v would tell you, and -- version will tell you that one. Similarly, pep 3 -- version would tell me the version of Python index packaging, or uppercase V would give you the same thing. So equivalent to the version 3.810, I have a pep 3.8. And then you can see here that whether you run -- version or -v, it is similar. So if I just type in Python 3, it takes me into the Python interpreter. These three dots are in the Python interpreter. So at this time, if I type in dir, these are the list of the built-in double underscore modules, or magic method that we call it, or magic classes that are already there. Inside of each one of them, you have a lot of other methods and classes that could be defined there as well. So these are modules basically that are system standard packages, part of the 3.8 version here. So in this case, if I just load import OS module, and notice that now if I type in dir, the OS module is also shown here. And if I just do OS dir of OS, you can see this is huge. It has a lot of packages. So one of the ones that I'm just interested here, I can clear my screen using a print like this, and say, go ahead, clear screen times 50. I don't need to load OS module, but what I'm saying is that once you load that one, you can just get it, clear the screen in a nicer way, so the command prompt goes on the top. So if I just say, for example, help OS, it will get the list of all the methods and the constant that are defined. It gives you all of those ones inside Python interpreter. You're welcome to read them through, and then just familiarize yourself with all these function calls and understand them, and get to know the system well with OS module interpreter. So I'm going to quit out of this one, and then this time I'm going to say os.system, and then I'm going to use the clear command, because that one is going to, as you can see, my prompt, it moved to the top because I did the OS module. So in order for me to know further, I could just say os.system, and then just use uname-a like I did earlier. Sorry, uname-a, you have to type it correctly, uname-a. And let me clear my screen first. So that way we run this command, uname-a, and it tells you the same thing that I got it from the operating system when I type in uname-a. Similarly, if I just do cat -n for show me the OS-release with line numbers, you can see that on line 5, it shows that I'm running Ubuntu version 20.04 long-term support. And the commands are unlimited. So all these options under the OS, the system is the function that I'm going to do. And then I could just say pwd, that shows me where my print working directory is. And then if I just say the command uname -o for operating system, and then that's GNU, and then the platform that I'm running is 64-bit. The -- kernel, for example, kernel name, then you can see that it's Linux there. So you can get a lot of these information. In fact, if you just change this one to a dash help there, similarly to the way that you get it from the operating system, you can just get all these parameters here as well. And then now I'm going to show you another technique by clearing the screen os.system, and then I'm running the operating system command clear. So I'm going to say, show me os.name. If I just look at the OS name is POSIX, but if I run a same command os.name on a Windows platform, it would say NT. In fact, let me just open a CMD and just to show you the difference here while I'm doing it, so you could understand that no matter what operating system you use, you have similar options. So Python -- version here, we're going to get that 3.10.5, and then I'm going to say Python 3, for example, is going to drop to 3.10.5, and if that is the same name, it is actually is going to open it. So in here, there of that one, notice that OS is not loaded yet. So OS is not loaded yet, and then if I just say under of the operating system is this only. And then I'm going to just make this screen a little bit bigger. I hope it is good enough, big enough, because I see the difference between one is smaller than the other one. So now I have it bigger. I'm going to just start over again, and then clear my screen here and say Python there, and then now I'm on 3.8, 3.10, and then I say there. Now you can see that OS is not loaded yet, but I'm gonna say import OS, and then I run it there. Now you can see OS is there. So now if I just say, for example, dir of OS, you can see some of the methods that are available on Windows platform is a little bit different than the one on the Linux side. So I could get like OS dot, let's say os.system, and then I could say dir command to get the directory listing. You can see that the other one was a dir command. So here os.system, I cannot use the clear command like I did on Linux. I have to use the clear screen, which is the Windows version. So os.name here, as you can see, this one it says NT, the other one says Linux, POSIX. So in here, if I just move this screen a little bit down here, just so we can run the two commands here. Notice that if I just on the Windows side, they say if os.name is equal, and then we say NT, then we just say print system, os.system, and then just we get this directory listing, or just type in anything that you want to do, host name, like let's say system info. That's a command that is going to give you on the operating system level information. So I'm going to even do type more to see if the piping is working as well. And then here I'm going to just do that, and then just run the command. Notice it really clearly is giving you that information and the loading host information. And it's going to give me a pipe more here, 1 page at a time. So I can just do this one and read the entire information. And then after I did it, I could just say something like this. If OS name is there, and then say run the dir command. So os.system system, and then run the dir command, for example, the directory command. And notice that this will just give me the directory command. But if I just say OS name is this, and then at the same time, if run the dir command, let's just type it in. We just say run the os.system, run the dir command, but then clear the screen. And watch how fast this is gonna do the same thing here after the second command. So os.system, and then we say clear screen. And then after that one, I'm going to type in hostname.system and run another command called, let's say, hostname. And just so I know what it is, the hostname. And then another command, say os.system, and then run the command, say system info, and then pipe, and then say find, and find the string, whatever I want to search for the string. There's a command find and there's a command find a string. So I could easily use one of them. So in this case, I'm going to say OS name. Just if I want to search for that OS name variable, and then I just print it. Notice that to some line, I had a line 5, and then so this is single quote I started. I did not close it properly. So this is what happened here when you just use the command here. And I'm going to repeat the same commands I have on the lines above. So let me just type it in again. I'm going to say os.system dir command first, followed by os.system, and then clear screen command, and then followed by os.system hostname, and then followed by os.system. In this case, I have to be careful because if I start with this double quote here, inside it, I have to use single quote. If I use this one, a single quote, then I say system info, find, and then I'm going to do the string OS, and then I have to close the double quote here again. That would be the function that is inside there. And then now it is working fine, and then it should give me the information. It cleared the screen, it ran the host name. Now it is doing the desktop information. So notice that all that worked, and because we compare the os name, which was NT. So similarly here, if I just say if os.name is equal, and then I say POSIX, that is the string that I want to match it, then you say, okay, so os.system, run the command, let's say df-h to get the disk information. We don't have to always run the same command. So I'm going to say os.system, and then I want to do a calendar command. And then at the same time, I want to run the os.system a date command. So some of these commands are very easy. You could type it in and you get it, the information, because they are operating system command, os.system. And after that one, I'm going to just say, let's say, do another command called ls-l on that directory that I'm there. So I'm going to do a two directory command, pwd followed by ls-l. So I see the print working directory of it, and then do that one. I think that's enough to just look at it, and you can see that these commands all worked as was expected. The first one, df-h, is this output. The second one is the cal command for calendar. The next one is a date command. Then the last one was pwd and ls-l command together with semicolon separated. So there's a lot of things you can do with the OS module by just making a os.system and then go do the command that you want to do. So in this case, if I say fos.name is equal nt, and then just say, for example, this is just up on the Windows machine. So then you could just say print system info type, and then this time I'm going to search for memory, the word memory. So that's long enough for searching it for that string. And then notice that else, if this is not in T, that must be, I could do a LF, but I just, since I'm thinking of only the else part is going to be true, then T is not the one. I don't have to say os.name is equal POSIX. I'm going to go to the else part, and then on the else part, I'm going to just say else print, and then instead of the system info, I'm going to do cat minus cat /proc/meminfo. So that would give me the memory information, and then I tail minus 10, the last 10 lines of that one, because meminfo have a lot of information. So this one is because the FOS is not in T, it's going to fall in the part of else, then it should run this command, the else part, and it should give me the output of this. And then since I did a cat on it, and then did a print statement, and that did not execute what I wanted to do, in order for me to actually run the command, I'm going to do that print information here, and then go back to the else part. And then right here, where I just said right here, and I just say cut this one, I'm going to just say os.system, and then run that as output. So I'm going to make a function call to the OS module, and the function call is system, then that will just give me exactly what I was looking for. And now notice this code, I'm going to do it on the Windows side. Let me just write it first. Actually, I have it, so I will just duplicate it by going up here, and then and just clearing my screen here, clear os.system, and then I clear the screen here, and that would do it. Then I just move it on the bottom here, like this command that is similar to this line here. I want to just do the same thing on the Windows side. And then I say fos.name is equal nt, and then in this case, what you should do, then it's going to say print system info find /i, and then pipe mem. Since I know that I'm running it on Windows operating system, then I'm not going to even bother. os.system, clear the screen. Sometimes when you talk at the same time, you don't know what you're typing, so let me just pay attention to what I'm typing. If os.name is nt, then you are going to just say print the statement. The print the statement here, I'm going to say, actually on the top one, we should have done this thing rather than the print statement. os.system, and then system info find /i, and then do the memory. Then memory, and then else part. Oops, sorry. What did I type in? Let me make it one screen. I think it is just sometimes too distractive to look at one screen there. So I'm going to completely rewrite it. So os.system, I'm going to do a clear screen. And all I'm showing you, since the name is NT, I'm going to do the same thing on Windows, and then the else part will not be executed in this case. The F part is going to be true. So I say fos.name is equal NT. Maybe I put one equal sign in there. I don't remember what I typed, but I could just look at it here. So os.name is equal NT. Then I'm going to say os.system, then run the system info, and then find /i to ignore the case for the word mem, even though it's matching with that one. And then do this. And then we go else. I might have missed a comma or something, or the single quote or something. And if it is there, os.system, so just type in the command that you want to just do. Let's say if it is else, we assume it is some other operating system. We say we could just even not do an OS call. We could just say print operating system is unknown to me. So you could do something like that, and that's fine. If you don't want to make it portable. But because we did the memory, now you notice that it does the find and then run the memory, I think. So if you're detecting for like CPU information, all you have to do is do the same thing here, and then just run the, instead of this one, you just say architecture, let's say. For whatever word the model maybe is the name, that could just have it, and then the model, and then actually we don't need to even do an else part because we know that it is there. And so we just enter, and then it is going to run and look for the model, and it finds the model, and it says it's a 64-bit AMD processor with 3.1 gigahertz speed. So that is some part of the module. But let's come back to the other aspect of things that I'm going to show you on OS module. Now, remember, I was telling you OS module is big, huge. So I'm going to show you some more information here. Let me just do a os.system first, and then clear the screen here. And since I'm on a Linux machine, I'm going to say dir of OS, and then this one reveals a lot of it. But how do you know which one is very useful? Yeah, maybe I memorized some of them and there, but nobody memorized every modules with every function that are there. There are thousands of module, and there are thousands of function calls and method and constant. So you will be very kind of like not up to date with all of them on every module that are there, but you need to understand the building block of programming, and then understand how to pull information from it. For example, what do I mean by that one? Let me just show you. So I'm going to say os.system. You see the list is big, so I'm going to clear the screen here, but this time I'm going to say dir first, and I know that there's a os.module here, that is OS is right here, is already in the list. So I'm going to say for item, or could be any item, could be the name of the module name. So I'm going to call it item, and OS dir of OS. So if I'm interested in then get the list of them, I could do like a print item here. So instead of having it all in big lines, I could just have it in like sorting orders like this from top to the bottom. It is all into like a string list there. So let's just do os.system and clear the screen. Clear the screen. This time I'm gonna do the same function. I mean the same for statement, and the function that I'm using is the dir with the argument the module OS is passed on. But this item, this time I say if and the string get is there, then just report to me. If get and item, then I'm going to just say print me that list. That's much smaller. So anything that is in the string get is in there, just print me those ones. Notice even for the get, there's so many of them. So I'm going to like show you like get current working directory, get current working directory, and bytecode, and they get group ID, get the environment. So a lot of these ones, or we can just go one by one, but you can also get like help on this one. For example, if I want to look at what is get current working directory, os.system, I can just clear this screen, and then I could just say os.get current working directory. That's like equivalent to that PWD, which was os.system, and then that would be equivalent to print working directory. And then os.login, for example, is going to give me login ID actually. Login ID, let me just see what is the login ID. Get login, sorry. Get login, I start with get. So let me just os.system, clear the screen, and then here, and we are just going to clear it. And then we say os.get login name. So the login name is wlitfi. That is equivalent to os.system. Say get or just ID. It will give you everything there with the wlitfi and other ones. And then if you just specifically 1-u for user ID, but if you wanted in numbers, that would be wlitfi equivalent to get login here, and then you just do -un to get this one. Similarly, get group ID. So if I just say os.get group, let's say I want all my groups, and then it's going to say groups 1000. And then if I just do the same command that I did earlier, I say for item, let me just do some more directories, get current working directory. We did that one, os.get current working directory. We already did that one. And then we are going to just do one more of that for statement, so we get the list. Say for item and os.dir of os, and then say if get the string get and item, then print it, print item. So this will give me the list, but notice like get group ID, get user ID, get effective user ID, get environment and P. So there's a lot of them. Get user ID, get system ID, and then so on. And there's a lot of them. Let's see if that is SID is for the something else, or I made a mistake there. Let's see and say help os.get SID. I'm not sure. I never used that one. Yeah, call the system call get SID and return that result. So the SID is the system call. So here I could just say get current working directory, and notice that is get os.get current working directory. I get that one, but then I could also say os.system and then run the command env to get all the environment. So now I could just say os.get env, and then one of the environment, for example, let's say ps1, prompt shell 1. So if I get the prompt shell 1, ps1, then it's going to just say that $. And if I want to say pwd, pwd, it's all in uppercase because the variables are in uppercase. it will do the same thing. And then to get env home directory, home is there, and then path is there. So notice that path is there. I could also say os dot system, and then say echo $ path. That's equivalent to that command. So this, let me just clear the screen a little bit, and we run a few commands that are equivalent. We compare them. So let's just say os dot system. I'm gonna do a clear. Oops, sorry. Clear, and then this time I'm gonna do echo os dot path, and then instead of that one, I'm gonna say os dot get env, get environment, and then pass in the argument path, which is the environment variable path in it. So this is what is there when I do echo. Similarly, if I say echo this one for home, then I could also say this command, and instead of echo this, I could say echo $ home. And then similarly, if I do for PWD, this one, I could get that one from os.get current working directory, as well as os.get env, and then have the home as the argument passed in. So you could get that information as well. And then similarly for like, for example, user, for example, get env user, and then you could see what is user wlutfi, and then I could just do the same thing with the system. I could just say users, and then wlutfi, and also I could do on the OS system, I could say echo $user. So whatever is the environment variable, you just pass on that one, you get similar result there. So I hope you enjoyed it so far. I'm going to show you one more function, which I'm going to do a quick review for it first. So I'm going to say print os.walk. Actually, before I do a os.walk, I'm going to do a help on it. So you see the os.walk, the arguments that are given. And then let me just do a os.system, and then clear the screen first. And then I'm going to say print help on os.walk. So this is the function, and that's the argument, and then says required position argument there. So let's see why it is. This is the walk. Yeah. So that there was a little bit more parameter passed on. I used it as a function rather than as a name. So you can see that the walk takes 3 arguments: the dir path as one, and then the dir name, and then file name. You can pass on these ones, and then you can traverse through the list. So the dir path and dir name and dir file name, we can just make it like a short name, like DP for dir path and DN for dir name and file names. I'm going to show you how to do this one. Like here, they show you some examples also, and then you're welcome to use those examples as well. os.system, and then clearing the screen here. And then again, I'm going to say, this time I'm going to say os.get current working directory first. Now you can see I'm on a Python directory. And then if I just do a system here, and then run the command and say ls-l, and just to get a long listing of the files, I could get that one, and you can see that these are the files. And if I just did the clear the screen again, this time I just don't do a long listing. I could just get the short listing like that as well. And then I could run and see what type of files they are, file star, and then you see that they're all Python scripts and other stuff, Python, that the PyC or executable, anything that is there, it is just showing Python cache and those directories. So in order for me to just get a longer listing, minus L, this is long listing, but I could do also minus uppercase R to just read all the subdirectories that are there. Notice there's a lot of them. Okay, so when we do os.system and then run the clear screen command, and then I say os.get current working directory, at this time I know that I'm on that directory already. So I'm going to just list those files from the program modules, Python module called OS. So let's use that one instead of the system ls-l command to list them, or just find out what directory I am and all so on. So I'm going to say remember that dir path, dir name, and file name. So these are the three variables that I'm using in what? In os.walk module, but the argument of os.walk, I'm going to say os.get current working directory, because I want to just go on this directory, Python stuff here, and then just do something with it. So I'm going to say print. I'm going to just not put all of them in one line for the purpose of clarity. So I'm going to put it on different part, but you can always do dn and then a space new line character or something. You can put it in one line, one print statement that would just do the same thing, and you can do a new line character. But I know that this information is a lot, so I'm going to do it this format so it is more clear for readability purpose. Print and then file name. So now what I'm doing on this for statement, I'm going to have three variables. One is the dir path, the next one is dir name, and then the third one is file name. So I go to walk through, traverse through the directory above, which is get current working directory, is going to return that one, as I said it on the first line, os.get current working directory. Then I'm going to print those ones. So notice that it's going to go, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. So os.system, again, clear the screen. But before I clear the screen, notice that it shows the directory name, and then when the directory is empty, it shows the list empty, and so on. All of that one is showing, and then the files are showing the individual files, so in the list. And if I just do the same command this time, I'm going to do the type of them to see what type of file they are print. I'm going to say type of dir path, and then do again print type of dir name, and then print type of file name. So this time I just print out the list, and notice that some of them are string because they're file name, some of them are list because it's a directory listing, and as we print them, these ones are individual files or strings, but the one that are there with the string, it's going to just say that the whole thing is in a list. You can see it's a bracket here and then the closing bracket at the end here, right? So let's just make sense out of this. So I'm going to do another os.system and clear the screen. This time I'm going to say for this directory that I'm doing here, os.name, I'm going to say, okay, go ahead, do this one. And this time I'm going to just concentrate on this file name there. So I'm going to say print type of file name. And then that one will reveal that it's all list. So since it is list, and now let's see what we can do with that list. So again, clear the screen here. go back to the command here, and then do, and instead of the print it, this time says f file and file name. So this one, I'm going to just look for a string inside the file name. If I say f, let's say anything with the name Darwin, because I know that there's files with darwin.py or something. So I could check on that one, then in file name, then print that file name. Print that file name. So it did not find it. Why it did not find it? Because it is there, but the string is, I'm not giving it some kind of right instruction to find it. So I'm going to just do this. I'm going to say this time, and instead of F statement, I'm gonna say for file and file name. So this file, I could just say the word F for one of them, and the file name is the list, and then the file is there. Then we say at this time, this one is individual files. So then I say F Darwin and the string F, the item F in this case, we're going to just say, go ahead, print it. 1, 2, 3, print that string name, the file name. So we're going to do that one. Notice it's clearly showing us what we are looking for, all the ones that is there. So if I just go clear my screen one more time here, and then run the same command here. This is the one, and then I'm going to say for a file and file name. Then I could just say if and the name is similarly to something.py extension, PyC, for example. PyC, go ahead, print that one. Then you can just say, okay, I found out my file that I was interested in, and I'm going to print it. All the files with the extension of .pyc is there. Okay, one last attempt. I'm going to just only list one file in this called solars_index. So let's clear the screen again. And then this time I'm going to do this command, and then I'm going to say for statement, and then I'm going to just check for the string, and instead of Darwin, I'm going to put Solaris _index, just to see if there's a file with that extension starting with that string Solaris. I really love Solaris operating system. So, and this one is going to, if that's the case, then print I love Solaris operating system. So you could do that one, and then at the same time, and then do another print statement, follow it, and then just say the string that you want to print. And then notice that every time it found it, it just says, I love Solaris operating system and Solaris index.py and all that thing. So this is Solaris index.py is actually a Python program that I wrote to generate all the manual pages at MyWebUniversity.com, my website, and there's about 13,000 technical documentation. You're welcome to watch that one. In fact, let me just go there and show you how useful this Python program is. I just generated those ones on the fly, and you can also do it dynamically if you have the web server. So I'm going to just go to MyWebUniversity.com page. Let me just make sure that go to MyWebUniversity and http www.mywebuniversity.com, and So this is going to take me to my website, mywebuniversity.com. There must have been a typo on the URL name. So it is www.mywebuniversity.com. And I'm going to just go to /man_pages index.html. This one is going to bring it up. Let me make the screen a little bit bigger. Actually, it is big enough so you can see it. Right here, you can see the Solaris man pages that I have built. That Python script that I was showing you, it basically generated this 13,000 technical documentation on Solaris platform for manual pages. So you're welcome to read anything that you're looking for that is with Python, Solaris platform. The fact that, in fact, you can just do like Control F here and then say ZFS, for example, zettabyte file system, and then it shows up here. You can just click on it and you can read the manual pages. I hope you enjoyed it. And at this one on mywebuniversity.com also, I have another chapter 7, which is, on that documentation, obviously I have more on the manual pages and for Solaris, for Linux, for Windows, for PowerShell, for Mac, everything as I showed it. Let me just go again one time on that screen. You can see here is for Darwin, here is for Linux, here's for Solaris, here's for Windows, and here's for PowerShell. And there's also sorting orders depending on what operating system and what alphabet character that you're searching for. So you don't have to do a Control F. You could just directly go to your type of search and then just do it. Instead of doing a Control F and Z, and then you could just click on Z and then search for ZFS if it is Solaris platform. So ZFS is also supported on Mac OS X. Just for your information, there's also this chapter 7 of my book, chapter 7, I believe chapter 7.html. This one is also, I wrote a Python program. This one is very useful in terms of getting any documentation on Linux platforms. So you're welcome to use this one for chapter 7. In fact, this is bringing chapter 7, but maybe I have it under chapter 8 and the next, or chapter 6. Let's see, chapter 6. Okay, so the way I find it easily, if I just search for any of these commands, and then obviously you can just click on it and then it takes you to command kind of syntax. So for chapter 4, for example, I have the advanced Unix Linux commands. And if you just try, for example, let's say read ELF for executable link format, and then you can just click on man pages for ELF, and then it takes you to, actually it was not called chapter 7, it was called man.cgi, because it produces manual pages for any Linux dynamically, any Linux commands. So you're welcome to use this one, mywebuniversity.com. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. Okay, now it is 100% on the screen. So you're welcome to go to this website, mywebuniversity.com/cgi, benman.cgi. And then here, when you type in any command, like right now, I search for ELF, it print this one, and it is now in the scroll bar allow you to go up and down and read it. Similarly, if you're looking for, like, let's say system D, for system D, which is system 7 and 8 for Red Hat, and then get, even Debian versions, they have it. So all this system D manual documentations are here. But this is not tied only to section 1 of the man pages. You could do a -S 3 and then say I want to do a printf statement, which is a printf statement on C library and or C out for C++ and other codes. You can always do these ones. Any of these section 3 headers, you can do it. Also, if you did, like, for example, mount command on Linux or Solaris, any platform that you do, this is section 8. So you can do a -S8 and then mount command, or just when you type in the command, my script is smart enough to detect what you're looking for, and then based on that one, I print out a nice format here. But you don't need to be logged on a Unix machine. You don't need a VirtualBox. You don't need a Docker. You don't need a Linux version running and an operating system running. All you need is the internet access and browser. Visit this site and then search for any Linux command that you do. And I just showed you some of the commands. Like if you do shutdown, it tells you the command shutdown, and it prints it out for you right here nicely. Similarly, if you do something like, let's say, tar file, tar gun zip file, you could just do that. Any command that you do, basically, is available. And the command that we did a lot here, uname for uname -a and all the arguments that were passed on, you could just get them all here. So please take advantage of these resources on my website, MyWebUniversity.com. Again, on the MyWebUniversity.com, I have a list of videos and classes that I have. All of them are available on YouTube as well as MyWebUniversity.com. Please just go there, visit them, and practice them. A lot of these chapters that I have there, you can just practice and learn Linux, Ubuntu, by reading this book. The entire book is online. I gave you the entire book for free online. Please take advantage of it and learn it. Like, for example, chapter 2 teaches you like 33 different commands and learning Linux, Ubuntu. God bless my brother. He gave me all these kind of dedication in life, and just he was the inspiration of our life. He was a cardiologist at Kaiser permanently. God bless him. He passed away in 2021, January, and he was the sunshine of our life. He inspired so many people in life, and including our family. And as a result, I decided to just offer what I can do, offer to the community and to the entire globe. Anybody that is welcome to just go on this site and just practice it online. You don't need a Unix machine. You just run the command and you get the output there. And if you're interested to see more information on it, you could just go back here and then read the manual pages. The manual pages is also my book that earlier I showed you. So whatever command you click on, you get the output for it there. Similarly, on chapter 3 is intermediate level, and then you can go chapter 3 for intermediate level, and chapter 4 for advanced level, and chapter 5 for shell programming. So each one of these ones, that's gonna just help you a lot. I hope you guys subscribe to the channel, use it, and then make some nice comments so I can help you further. And by just making comments saying that, well, I understand this df command, but how do I apply it, or how do I get the output of these ones, and how do I write a program? So things that you have question, I have already answered on these videos that you can watch, and it's all kind of integrated together. I just made it to help people, and that's my purpose in life. I hope I can do a good job on that one. Chapter 4 is the advanced level. You have 88 different levels of these ones, and for each of these rows, which are 11 commands, advanced commands, I have these videos that I posted. Some of them are 1 hour long, some of them are an hour and a half, some of them 2 hours, but I explain each of these commands in detail with more examples and topic, as well as I show you on this website that I have, which is MyWebUniversity.com. I show you those like G-Core or RPM. Whatever I show you, I already have a chapter for it on the video that is posted on YouTube. You're welcome to click on it. Like this one is Unix Advanced Level, part 4 of 4, and you click on it and it takes you to YouTube secure page. So I don't have to have my site on secure page. It's just a click of a button that takes you to YouTube secure page. And then there's no transaction involved. There's no fees, nothing. It's all zero cost to you. As long as this is zero cost to you, you should take advantage of it, because someday if this one grows really big and then some company buys the my company, and then all of a sudden I'm not in charge, I cannot make it free forever. So then at some point they're gonna just advertise it to just make money off it. And you can see that it's going right now in commercial. So if I skip the commercial, you can see that the video starts, and this is basically chapter 4, part 8 of 8. And then as you can see, the screen is a little bit dim because of the maybe the internet access connection, but when you actually go there, it's a lot much nicer looking, clean, and there it is getting a little bit more fresh as we go. But I'm gonna just stop the video here, and then just basically that's all it is for this one. So you're welcome to actually go to YouTube.com and just subscribe to our channel. Let me just show you the channel also. It is called MyWebUniversity Free Educational Videos. And so I have about 350 some videos. With this one is going to grow more, and I'm going to add more. I'm going to show how what our operating system, database, a lot of stuff that Unix, Linux, a lot of stuff that you will be learning. Like this one, Windows versus Linux. This one I just posted Sunday, I believe, and people are watching them. This one is a very good Python object-oriented programming concept that I was just finding this nice image, and then I talk about it. It has some kind of good humor on it as well. So you are welcome to watch these ones, and then subscribe to our channel. It is called MyWebUniversity Free Educational Videos, as you can see. The full URL is something you can, on the YouTube, you can just type in youtube.com at MyWebUniversity. Recently, YouTube introduced the handle. So whatever is youtube.com, for example, youtube.com/handle, this would take it to this site. And then if you type in this one at the browser, it will take you the same place as I'm doing it here. So this would just bring up mywebuniversity.com. As you can see, a lot of the links that are there are all mywebuniversity.com. These are like shorts, but you're welcome to type in that one also on Google, google.com. So if you forgot anything, you could just say at MyWebUniversity. You don't have to remember free education videos. But on every link that I posted, I actually post the YouTube channel as well. So you're welcome to click on them and then just watch them. And then let's see if this one video opens up on this session differently than coming from MyWebUniversity, because MyWebUniversity is in the cloud in Germany, I believe. So when it is going there, by the time it comes back from YouTube channel, it is a lot of data kind of in between that has to be the baud rate and then the bandwidth that is used. So here I'm just going to directly to YouTube there, and then maybe the look and feel of it a little bit might be better. Let's see. We'll compare it. That way we know if there's any difference between going from one side to the other side. And then, yeah, you can already see the quality is a little bit improved there. And because it is spinning, it tells me that my network is slow. So sometimes your provider could be the problem as well. So in that sense, you have to check to see what is your speed. And you can also do that one by just stopping this one, for example, and then you run a speed test, speedtest.com. .NET, I think it is. So that URL, whatever you're testing, speedtest.net is that one. Then you can check on your speed of the site. So this is a very good site for you to test your internet access to see what it is, and it tells you the frontier and the IP address that I'm coming. The service provider in this case is Frontier, and it's going to try to connect now. And if the connection from time to time, you have to check it on different time, at peak time and at rush time, whatever time you check it, depending on how slow it is. Maybe because today is Halloween, maybe a lot of people are on the internet and doing a lot of things in the same area where I'm on the local area network. So my system, as you can see, is not as fast as it is. That's why those websites were coming down slowly. But if I have the right internet access, those ones are very fast. And it is, and another day I show you that is very accurate. So this is like really, really slow. Right now you can see the ping download in megabit per second was 21, and then upload is only 5.9. That's really ridiculous because I'm paying for 500 or more megabit per second. So I will check on that one to see what's going on there. But we're done with this video, and then you know also about the speed test, test it, and if there's some fixing that either you or your service provider has to do it, you're welcome to work on that. Have a nice one. Take care. God bless you all. Bye.